Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Julia. I am 27 weeks pregnant with my third daughter, and I had a preterm labor scare, and I wanted to share it with you guys. If you're pregnant, definitely watch it. Get informed about preterm labor. It happens so quickly, and the doctors, when you're there, throw a bunch of questions and decisions at you, and I thought it was important to talk to somebody about it and share with you guys my experience. So if it is happening to you, maybe I can be of some help. On Friday, so here's my story. So on Friday, I started having back-to-back Braxton Hicks contractions. And if you guys don't know what that is, it's like the tightening of the uterus, but it's not painful. So it's kind of, they're like contractions, but they're not painful. They're not going to send you into labor. It's just your body getting ready for labor. And so Friday night, I started having a lot of back-to-back Braxton Hicks contractions. So even when I was sitting down, every time I would get up, it'd be like one after the other after the other. And so it was about 7 p.m. and I decided just to get a bunch of water, sit down, and I ended up going to sleep and not waking up from them. Well, when I woke up Saturday morning, I was having pain in my lower abdomen and again, back-to-back Braxton Hicks contractions, and I said, well, I'm just going to get up. It was about 6 a.m. Get up, have some water, get a bowl of cereal, eat some cereal in bed, and see how it goes. So I did that, and I ended up having painful contractions. So being only 27 weeks, and my past 2 deliveries were super fast, I decided it was best if I went in just to get checked out. So I called my doctor, told them I was heading into the ER, and I told them what hospital I was going with. My hospital participates with my insurance. I have Kaiser. If you guys have Kaiser, it's kind of a pain. So I went to a Kaiser hospital, and so we got there, checked in, and I was in my room by like 9:20 a.m. So at this time, the nurse had walked me back, told me I was not allowed to eat or drink until they figured out what was going on. They set me up with 2 belly strap monitors on. One was to monitor contractions, the other was to monitor the baby's heart rate. Baby was looking great at this point. So between 9:20 when I got there and noon when the doctor finally came in, baby looked great. I had still been having strong contractions. And so they were anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes apart, lasting anywhere from 1 to 2 minutes. And so it felt like to me how I felt in early labor with both of my other daughters. And that's what I ended up telling the doctor too. So she came in about noon and we decided on a game plan. So what she was going to do is she was going to do a vaginal ultrasound, an ultrasound with like the probe, and she's going to measure my cervix. And so she took 4 separate measurements of my cervix, and the lowest measurement she got was 2.5 centimeters. And then she went in and she did what they call a digital exam of your cervix, a digital check. So they do it by hand. I had no idea what this was. I had to ask 10 times. So it's checking your cervix for dilation, but they're also checking for effacement and shortening of the cervix. And so, oh my gosh, it hurts so bad, you guys. I was it was horrible. Anyway, so she did that. I guess it's more accurate to do it by hand for the doctors now than it is by ultrasound. So I don't know why she did the ultrasound in the first place, but anyway, maybe just to get a starting measurement. So after talking about this, she said that my cervix is only 2.5 centimeters long. They like it between 3 and 4 centimeters. And I'm pretty sure I'm remembering correctly that at my 20-week ultrasound, they do measure your cervix, and it was about 4 centimeters. So given that, we were going to wait 4 hours, and then she was going to come and check me again and see if I had dilated at all or if my cervix was any shorter. So she wanted to do this because I was in the gray area. Anything 2 and below in centimeters would be worrisome to them. I was confused because I'm like, how can you check 0.5 centimeters in my cervical change with your fingers. Like that is, it still doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, she said it was really accurate. And so before she left, we had to talk about a few things. The first was an antenatal steroid treatment. So this is a round of steroids to develop the baby's lungs for preterm labor. It's given, let me see, it's given to any babies before, I think it was up to 37 weeks. It's an injection, and you get 2 shots 24 hours apart. It's called betamethasone. And what it does is it helps develop the baby's lungs, but it lowers the risk of breathing problems with the baby if the baby's born, much lower risk of bleeding in the brain for the baby, and a lower risk of a serious bowel condition in the baby because they are so underdeveloped still. And so she wanted to talk to me about that, and she wanted us to start thinking about that, and if we would like to have that done or not. The only downside with that is it is recommended that the mother doesn't get more than 4 shots in the whole pregnancy, and I'm pretty sure it only lasts like a week in the mom. And so if I had gotten it and my preterm labor let up and I needed another round and it let up and then I need another round for some reason, I wouldn't have been able to do it further on. So you don't really want to do it unless you're really going into preterm labor, it sounded like. It works after 48 hours, and so they like to get the first shot going just in case you do deliver right at 48 hours or something. You have a better chance of giving your baby a better chance. So, and then the second thing she wanted to talk to me about was Procardia. It is a smooth muscle relaxer. And so when she came in and recommended this, I'm like, oh great, yeah, give it to me. It's going to stop my labor, we're going to be good to go, and that'll be done with. Like, hopefully it doesn't happen again. And I was wrong. It is a smooth muscle relaxer to make the mom more comfortable. So this is after doing some research. It will not stop preterm labor, and it just makes the mother more comfortable. That's all it does. It can lower your blood pressure, and my blood pressure already runs really low. It's like 102, always over something, and so it wasn't really an option for me, and especially if it wasn't going to stop preterm labor, I can deal with being uncomfortable. I don't need really anything else in my body. And so 4 hours later, she came in, and so these are things for me to sit on if things had picked up as far as preterm labor. So then they came in, gave me an IV as I'm waiting for the 4 hours to pass to start me on some fluids because I hadn't drank or ate anything. They wouldn't let me do either. And so they started me on IV fluids, and the saying is like, if you're a little dehydrated, it can send you into having a lot of contractions, which I knew wasn't the case. I knew I wasn't dehydrated, but we started the IV fluids anyway, and so IV fluids were going. I was still having contractions, and then all of a sudden they just started tapering off about 5 p.m., and I started IV fluids about noon. So I don't know if they did help or not. I don't think they had anything to do with it. I think my uterus is just being a little irritable. And so now I'm at the point where I am home. It is Tuesday, and every time I stand up, I am having contractions. So I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow to check up with them. I was told not to go back to the hospital or anything unless I'm having contractions and they don't stop and I'm having more than 4 an hour. And so I am just taking it easy because I am only 27 weeks pregnant and just praying that this little baby stays in. It's been difficult because my girls are on winter break right now, and so I have been stuck with trying to line some things up for them to go do with friends or family members for even an hour out of the day so that they can get out of the house, because as soon as I'm up and around, I start having contractions again. I'm so happy that she did not come, and I'm so happy that I am able to listen to my body. Listen to your bodies, everybody. If you guys are pregnant, listen to your bodies. If you're worried about something, go into the hospital. It is pregnancy is like so short and it is like so important for everybody to be informed about stuff. But I am sharing this video because I wish that doctors would tell you to have a preterm labor plan in a birth plan or as a separate plan, even at 23 weeks. I didn't know I was going to wake up and have painful contractions, and it can happen to anybody. I had a little bit of it happening with my second daughter, but I delivered her full term. I just don't think that anybody can predict if you're going to have preterm labor, and it is best to be prepared. The two decisions they wanted me to make with the Procardia and the steroid treatment were minor. That was like the beginning of preterm labor. They wanted me to think about those things. After that, there's more in-depth things like magnesium and stuff like that that have a lot of major side effects. And so I just wanted to come on and inform you guys, share a little bit about my preterm labor story. And yeah, if you're new to my channel, subscribe. I am going to be doing my 27-week uptake here pretty soon. Stuck in bed. Hi, Munchkin. Anyway, I'm on to making my birth plan, on to making my 27-week update, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a good day.